Welcome, everyone, to CDO's magazine series of one-on-one interviews with CDOs and data leaders and key influencers. I'm your host, Robert Lutton, Vice President, Sandhill Consultants, and I'm coming to you today from Toronto, Canada, working with the CDO magazine. Today, I have the pleasure of introducing Chitrang Shah, who is the founder and CEO of Savant Labs. Welcome, Chitrang.
Very welcome. Thank you.
Certainly, the pitfalls, one of the pitfalls an organization may fall into would be the exploding cost if it's not managed well. Are there other pitfalls that you would see organizations falling into when you look at the ease of use, democratization of AI, and the scalability? What pitfalls would...
The other one that I would highly look at is governance. As I mentioned, while this is a self-service tool, you don't want to create a Wild West. You do want governance capabilities. The governance comes also in a variety of different flavors. Obviously, there is an aspect of integrating with your identity system, your access control, and so on, but also comes from in terms of creating an environment where your team has the ability to review and approve the workflow, optimize the workflow, avoid duplication, avoid the data quality issues. All that comes also from the technology that if the tool is not built cloud native and is not in the cloud, centralized governance is bound to fail from day one. And so as you evaluate technologies, look at technologies that are AI first, cloud first, that by design enable centralized governance and control.
I love that, cloud native and centralized data governance. Let's just talk a little bit about the different types of platforms. You mentioned it, the first gen and the second gen. I mean, there's probably many organizations that are still relying on that first generation analytics platform, while others are moving on to newer AI-enabled solutions. From your perspective, what are some of the key differences between these legacy, if you want, and modern platforms? And how are modern platforms supporting capabilities like AI and automation changing the game?
That's the biggest difference. You probably answered the question. The legacy platforms were, first of all, to their credit, they created the space, what self-service looks like. But they were very focused on the users and their ability to build workflows. They weren't focused so much on how do you automate these workflows, how do you scale this out, how do you put governance and control. Of course, when those legacy platforms were built, AI wasn't even around. They're not built to support AI in an integrated native fashion. At best, it's going to feel like it's a bolted on thing that doesn't belong. So as you think about it, you want to look at the technology architecture that is cloud first, technology architecture that allows integration of AI in a more natural, seamless way, integration of technology that allows governance and control with your environment.
So integration is definitely key between these first gen and second generation platforms. You mentioned AI, and we can't go through a discussion without bringing either AI or agentic AI into the conversation. And from my understanding, the agentic AI workflows are getting a lot of buzz. Could you give us any kind of real world example of how AI agents are now augmenting the analytics teams today and the measurable impact that they're delivering?
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, there's so many examples, but I'll step back for a second and I'll take a second to maybe define what I mean by agentic AI. In general, when people think of agents, it's a black box. You give it a task and it goes and performs it, and you don't know exactly what happened, and you can't tell if it did the right thing or not.
Right.
In the world of analytics, that doesn't fly, especially if the analytics is part of your business process that is a downstream decision-making process. You can't rely on a black box agent that you can't audit, control, govern. So the Savant's definition of agent is not something that is black box. Our definition of agents is a rule-based workflow combined with AI agents. So you have a full governance and control around it. Now, if you put that context in, a job of the agent is not always to run the end-to-end workflow. So a platform like Savant orchestrate the entire workflow. The job of the agent is to do hard analytic tasks that are either time-consuming or just difficult to do with AI, or unless you are your data engineer and you don't mind writing a lot of code. So we build agents that, for example, will do a fuzzy matching, which is a hard problem. If you have one data set where a company's legal name is used and another data set where a company's website name is used and you want to match it, it's a really hard problem often. So we help you automate those type of things. If you have unstructured data in the world of analytics, it's really hard because you can't run the analytics unless you have turned unstructured data into a structured data. Examples of that would be invoices. A lot of our customers have thousands of vendors and they all send you invoices in a different format. And if you want to use traditional OCR format to extract data, you have to train them on each different invoice format. With AI, all that is gone. Our agents, simply, you can point it to a invoice folder. It could have thousands of invoices in it. You can natural language just type it in and say, I want to extract this 10 fields from it, vendor, date, amount, so on. And it'll go ahead and do it and prepare the nice little table for you that you can audit. And then you can run analytics on it, right? You can create journal entries off of it. You could even categorize the invoices. We have customers that had 3 to 4 full-time employees that are doing just manual processing of invoices, categorizing them, creating journal entries. All that is now automated and they're doing better things. This is just one example. When you start looking at structured and unstructured data together and being able to run the workflows end to end, sky's the limit with what you can automate.
I love the fact that you've got the agentic AI workflows, but you've got a workflow that is visible, that you've got data governance, that you can see what's happening and you can trace it, which is, again, providing that audit trail for the organization is pretty, crucial. So as we hear, many organizations are kind of striving for that right balance in strategy. And certainly this is no difference when it comes to the tool selection criteria. When a CDO is evaluating a modern data analytics platform such as Savant Labs, what are the 3 capabilities that should be non-negotiable to future-proof their investment?
It has to be cloud native and AI native, number one. It has to be something that is governed and controlled, not creating a Wild West, and it has to scale in an efficient way. And it goes without saying that self-service is not self-service if your analyst can't use it. Right?
Well, it's ease of use, yeah. So the last question we got here, Chitrang, from your point of view, how would one strike a balance between empowering the technical, non-technical user, which you mentioned at the beginning, allowing them data access, ensuring governance remains intact without slowing down the innovation? How would we balance that?
Well, I'm no expert, but I'll tell what my customers are doing. They think of, when you're bringing in self-service, think of it as a prototyping tool. You let your business users come in and build these workflows and reports they need. For the first time, you will have visibility into what I like to call shadow analytics. You can come into tools like Savant and you will see what reports your business users actually building and that business needs. Once you have that visibility, you can think of them as prototype. Give that to your data team and let them build data pipelines to create data assets based on the reports they need. Once you have those data assets, you can refactor those workflows. You can even retire a lot of them. And so instead of building your data organization, what I like to call data warehouse forward, build it business back, and you will find a lot of success.
I love that. I love the term shadow analytics. That was really, really neat. Chitrang, we appreciate your time today. We hope that we get the chance to have you come back and share your knowledge and experience in the ever-evolving state of data analytics.
Thank you, Robert. Very nice to be here.
It's a pleasure. And for our listeners, please visit cdomagazine.tech for additional interviews. Thank you.
Thank you.